this sucker rolling. That's been mirrored and fixed. Nope. Let's get Dobby rolled out. Dobby. There's treats on the ground. Out. Out.
What did he grab?
I don't fucking know. I don't know what that was.
Wasn't anything that I had. I didn't give him anything this time.
It was white something. So we are live in Dos Places. Yeah, stop it. All right. Free. I think this is that ortholine for out of the range. It is. I need to remember to grab that when we go back out to see the bees. The granules. What's up, Sid? How's everybody doing? We're going to get to working here with Dobby in just a second. Dobby, place. Yeah, go boy. Down. Yes. Good. Need to see. I don't know that his e-collar is charged. And if it's not, I'm going to put the slip on him. Yeah, we got charged. All right, dope. Dope. Down. Yes. Good man. Good. Good man. That's a good boy. Yeah. Good man. Free. What's up, Mustangs? What's up, Clary? What's up, Laura? Hey. Dobby. Hey, dumbass. Don't do that. Dobby. Sit. Down. Down. Yes. Good. Good boy. Foos. Yes. Free. Good man. Good man. What's up, Caitlin? What's up, Torn? What's up, Audria? How are y'all doing? Obviously, if I'm working with the dog, I can't watch the chat as much, so please be patient. Leave it. Leave the rat alone. What's up, Emily? Sit. Yeah. Sit. Yes. Good. Good. Down. Yes. Good job. Good down. Good boy. Yeah, I only bring out one dog at a time. We're actively training specific stuff, so. Foos! Bro, you're crooked as fuck. Yes, there we go. What's up, Annabelle? Monarch, quiet. Yes. Free.
Good
boy.
I was watching so earlier.
Yeah.
And she was trying to get her dog to pick a medicine bottle up and bring it.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, like, she could hand the dog and do off.
Go place.
Do a hole.
Go place. Not that one. Place.
Do a hole, but like she would slide it across the ground. It would go and like oop it, think
Right.
about it, and then come back to get the treat. And she's like, no, this is not how that works. You have to bring it back to me
Right.
to get the treat.
Yep.
Go get it.
Yep. That is real deal dog training. And that's why I said the other night when Diso was in here. Like, she's one of the few people that I see doing real deal dog training on TikTok.
Yeah, and guess what? All of her dogs aren't out either.
How to deal with your Mal being really stubborn. Find a balance of building a really good relationship with your dog and correcting the dog for bad behavior. Make good behavior good and bad behavior not beneficial anymore. Rubber Ducky said thank you for sending the live to her.
You're welcome, because it seems like they don't get it until like midnight.
Sometimes.
Scrolling through.
Sometimes. Unfortunately. Yes. Good job, buddy. All right, YouTube is now quiet, so we're going to go ahead and keep doing the thing. What's up, user? Free. Oh, what's up, my boy, huh? What's up with my boy? Yeah? Yeah, I know you smell the treat. Dubby, sit. Front. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I got you, Rubber Ducky. Yes. Yes. Fuss. Yes. Yes. Free. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, bud. That was good. That was good. You're starting to get your head positioned now, finally. Shit's starting to click. So before, if my hand wasn't like actively right there on his nose, he would be dropping his head a little bit. That was good. He kept his head higher.
Here, Dobby, sit.
Dobby.
He said Mom gave me a blueberry.
Fuss. Fuss. Yes. Fuss. Good. Yeah. Good fuss. Fuss. Nope. Fuss. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Jordan says they've never seen this done with actual dogs before.
Yes. That's unfortunate. People need to suck less and show more. Yes. Free.
Tammy wants to know how you would suggest correcting their dog's bad behavior and not.
Put a leash on the dog and give the dog a leash correction by whipping that sucker back. You can dial it how hard or how light it needs to be. A light tug is not a correction. A light tug is guidance. It's negative reinforcement. But when I talk about a correction, which is not always the first thing, which is why I said first. Hey, he just got some sort of fruit over there. Okay.
I did it. It was me.
Okay. As long as he's not just snatching shit.
No.
Right. So I talked first about building a good relationship with your dog, because you can kind of think about your dog working with you, kind of like an emotional bank account. So the more good stuff that you give the dog, the more likely to do good things they are going to be, and that they're going to enjoy doing those things with you. The more you correct the dog by doing something like, if the dog is there and they're doing goofy shit and I go, no, and snap that motherfucker, like, it's not a pull, right? It is a whip, real quick. Snap. So that it tugs quickly, makes it momentarily uncomfortable. The timing does matter. Okay, what's up, Rich? The timing matters a lot. If you do it wrong, like way too late, the dog gets confused. It has to be within like a second of it happening. So, for example, if I told the dog to leave something and instead they started going towards that thing that I told them to leave it alone, if they get all the way to it and then after they're sitting there messing with it for like 2 seconds, I give them a correction, they very likely will not make that pairing of, that's why I got corrected, because I didn't listen.
Dobby says, Dad, why are you correcting my seat?
Do I ever use crates that the holes are around the dogs can look sideways? Every single one of these crates has holes on the side of them.
I wonder if they're talking
Of course,
about
Cammy.
like the impact, because they're like all.
Well, I mean, the Ruffland is too. The Ruffland, the entire side of both of these crates, it is ventilation holes all the way through. I don't use the wire crates because the wire crates fucking kill dogs. Don't do that. Dobby. Place. Yes. I know, you got to get some movement. I got you. All right, buddy. I'm going to get some Treatos right here. We're going to get back to work in just a second. I know Taco Fiend asked a question too.
Can leash correction
Place.
and harshness, or should she use the same amount of pressure?
Place. It depends on the dog, and it depends on the severity that the dog needs to be corrected for. Like, you can do a light correction for things that are light offensive. You can do harder corrections, especially if it's repeated things, and as they repeat it, go up in force. Is that my favorite thing to do? No, but it's very, very effective when done appropriately and paired with positive reinforcement. Yeah, you're right, Emily. He was like, why are you correcting the table? Yeah, I definitely would vary it, and I do vary it. It just depends on why the dog is getting corrected. And then you also have to understand, hey, the dog may not be doing the thing because they're confused, and there's a little bit of leeway there too. Like, it's your dog, you should use your best judgment and do what is right for your dog. That is what everything is going to boil down to. Yes. Good man. Good. Hey, honey, can I ask a ginormous favor? None of these treats are cut up, and I'm now out of treats in the cut up bag.
Oh.
Would you mind cutting some of them up when you are done with that thing?
How many do you have? Like, how many treats do you have?
I've got enough for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm not going to be done with this in 4 or 5 minutes, so give me just a second and I'll find a strawberry.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, Pumpkin, that train the dog in front of you thing is super, super important. And a lot of people forget that. Dogs are not cookie cutter. And some things that work for some dogs, or some dogs might literally need for that communication, other dogs don't. Like, Dobby requires a little bit more of a firm hand than most of the other dogs in the house. Like, he needs that, oh shit, I hit a barrier. Otherwise, he's going to be like smashing through that shit like the Kool-Aid Man, because he does all the fucking time.
Yeah, prime example, he attempted to go ahead and put his snoot on the counter because I gave him a strawberry because he was a gentleman, but then he came back and he was like, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and do this thing.
Right. There's strawberries up here. I'm going to take one.
Right.
Right.
No.
Yeah, that's not what we do in this house. Free. Yeah.
Mom gives you
Dobby, sit. Good. Front. Front. Nope. Nope. That ain't it. Front. Yes. So I told him no because he was crooked as fuck. He was trying to go to a heel. Fuss. Yes. Good job, buddy. Good man. Yes. Puss. Yes. Free. Yep, now you can get the one on the floor. Good job, bud. Good job. Good job, buddy. Good job.
No, sir.
Do I train dogs that are fearful different than normal dogs? Yeah. Go place. Good job. Yeah, we do. We train every dog slightly different. He is a black German Shepherd. Dobby down. Yes. Good job. Dobby sit. 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 Yes. You were gonna do it that second time. And then you second guessed yourself. You were right. Believe in yourself. Free. Dobby. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Good boy. Dobby front. Yes. Free. Good job. Good boy. Yeah. Hey, dummy. Don't do that. Hey, buddy. Dobby down. Down. Nope. Down. Down. No. Down. Yes.
Did you drill the place platform to the wall yet?
I did not. I did not.
There may be some fuckery to be had still.
I mean, I've got a system down that works, and they all run through the system. There may just be slight variations as to how the system is taught. For example, if a dog is not treat motivated, they don't want food, what's the fastest way for me to get them to sit? Because it's not going to be food. It's going to be putting a leash on the dog and getting the dog's head up, similar to if I was trying to lure. Head goes up, butt goes down. If I get that neck and head up, and the dog sits, and all of a sudden the pressure comes off, the dog starts understanding, oh, when I sit down, there's no pressure. They start understanding what that sit means. Yeah, Laura. Dobby is doing a good job. Yeah, you'd think that they would stop, but a good dog is going to be drivey. Down. 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 That's down. It's not what I was asking for. Free. Dobby. Down. Down. No. Down. Yes. How many training sessions per day? If they're in my house, typically 3 a day for about 10 minutes apiece. Especially if it is a client's board and train. If it's my personal dogs, they might get skipped. Especially if we've got something else going on. Like tomorrow's second session probably won't happen for all of our personal dogs because we have to teach a class. It just is what it is. Yeah. Good job, buddy. Yes. Not only are you a good boy, but you're a very pretty boy, too. Our carpet might not be pretty, but our dog is. How do I teach patience to prevent frustration with barking? So I correct the unwanted barking after I've taught them to bark. Then we also pay patience. We're going to pay for attention. Whether in this case, like he's sitting there staying in a down. He's doing the right thing. I'm going to mark, yes, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pay him for what he's doing right now. The more he does that thing, the more he gets paid. Then, if he gets up, then there's going to be pressure that's put on. Like, I've currently got the e-collar on. So when I was telling him, down, and when I told him no, I am working the e-collar as I'm doing that, applying pressure in a way that he has been conditioned to understand. Yes. Now, I could have turned the pressure up, and it probably would have gotten it fixed faster, but I'm being careful not to put too much pressure. Yeah, male dogs do tend to be a little bit more pushy. Free. Yeah, good boy. Huh, bud? Huh, my man? Huh, my man, huh? Yeah, you're my man. You're my man. You're my man. Yeah. 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 Good boy. Free. All right. We got 5 more minutes with him. You guys have any like German Shepherd specific questions? Do you guys have any other dog training questions? So he is one of my personal dogs. He is my sport prospect for PSA. So I'm doing competition obedience stuff with him, not normal like street obedience or pet obedience. Where do they go when we're not training them? Sometimes outside their crates, hanging out with the other dogs, doing goofy stuff. Otherwise, wherever we go, or in their crate. Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah, no, it's not a dumb question. So, like, all the other dogs right now are put up because we're working with Dobby. And then Dobby will get put up, and the next dog will come out. And then that dog will get put up, and the next dog will come out. And we will do a structured training, right? That's what we're doing right now. Now, during the day when we're not training, then some of them are going to be out and about, hanging out. Some of them are going to be in their crates. And if we leave, one or two, maybe sometimes three of them are going to go with us.
And then while we're gone, the rest of them are in their kennels for their safety.
Yep.
Okay, is this enough to get you through the rest of the life?
Probably yes.
Okay.
That should be enough, yeah. What would I recommend for a dog that's terrified of the cars? It's the same thing as everything else, Pumpkin. You've heard me say it at least 1,000 times, not at all joking. Desensitization and counter conditioning. Right? Get the dog around the vehicle first and get them to not be afraid of it. Pay them for going around the vehicle. Make just being around the vehicle a good thing. Then you open the door. Pay them with the door open. And then just hang out. Pay them with the door open some more and hang out. Keep the dog on a leash so that they can't, like, run away. But then just sit next to the open door with a limited run of the leash. And when they come around to the other side of the door, pay them. Not necessarily getting in it, but just going where you would get into the vehicle. Door's open, right? You're standing at the open door. The open doorway is right here. As soon as they come around you and are, like, in this bubble-ish area, mark it. Pay it. Like, you can break it down as small or as big as the dog will let you. And then I would start paying attention for just putting their nose at the doorway or at the seat. And then we're going to start asking for more and asking for more and asking for more. How can I get my dog to stop stealing food besides for keeping it up? We usually do. If someone walks out of the room, she'll steal it and eat it fast. So, first things first, Cammie, understand that it's a dog and trust that the dog is going to do what the dog's going to do. If you are leaving the room and you don't have eyes on that dog, and that dog has proven to you that they're going to do some bad shit, you're giving the dog too much freedom. Put the dog into a crate, or teach the dog to sit on place and not move, and get solid obedience on that dog and get a foundation there that you can trust. Otherwise, put the dog up or bring the dog with you. If I were to get another GSD for sport, would I get a male or a female? I'd get a female. I've already got a male, so I would get a female. I also very much enjoy working with females. As much as the industry is primarily dominated with males. Excuse me, sorry. As much as the industry is primarily dominated with males, I prefer spicy females. I like smaller females in particular. Yes, honey, you do fit that bill. I like smaller females, like where Monarch is at 45 pounds, even though she's technically under standard for a German Shepherd. I fucking love that. Like a little really fast pocket rocket flying in. That's fucking awesome for me. It's not as intimidating, but when it comes down to the actual work,
she is when she opens her mouth.
Yeah. Ellie, go ask a fucking plumber. I'm not a plumber. Got your boy to stop biting, barking at the vacuum. Oh, sweet. I love that. I know we had that conversation. I'm glad that you were able to help that. Hair dryer. Got it. You're rescuing an ACD. I don't know what that is, but I will continue. Any advice for nipping? She's already into herding chickens and ducks. So if the dog is nipping it nipping people or is it nipping the animals? How do I start them with heeling? I start with the basic position first. Free. Come on. Dubby. So when I get the dog heeling, or I get the dog luring, right? And I get the dog to be able to follow my hand in a way that is productive, right? So I can do stuff with the dog even if the dog doesn't know that they're actually doing that thing. Yes. Good man. All right. Yes. What I will first do is I will get the dog to sit in front of me, right? So I'll go front. Yes. Sit. Good. Then I will take the treat. I'll put it to the dog's nose, and I will guide the dog where I want the dog. My left foot, because I do a left side heel, will take a step back, so it gives the dog plenty of space. I'll guide the dog backwards, let them turn around, come up, and I will pause them when their shoulder touches my left knee, when my feet come back together. All right? And I will go, yes, pause, pay. It's that simple. And then I'll bring them back to a front. In this case, I want him to be touching me in the front, yes. And then I will do the same thing. Take my step back, guide him back, bring him forward, right here. Yes, pause, pay. If he stays here, I'll go yes, pause, and pay him again. And the longer he stays here, I will continue to pay him. Yes. Yes.
Cammy
Yes.
said when she adopted her dog,
Free.
the lady told her not to teach her to sit because it's not natural.
Okay. That's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, but you know, you do you. Telling somebody it's not natural for the dog to sit, the dog sitting is one of the easiest and fastest commands because it is so natural. But that's how we teach them that very first part. Dobby. We'll usually do it with a leash, right? And then I will keep a treat in my hand and I'll take literally one step. We'll go, yes. One step. Yes. Free. Free for him. I often use break too. It doesn't much matter. It's just, what does that word mean? Free or break, in my case, typically means you are released to be on your time.
Down.
Go be a dog and do what you're going to do within reason.
Down. Yes. Them like strawberries, Dad.
Why is that a different house would change behavior? Because they generalize things in pictures. So just because I can get a dog to do something on this table doesn't mean that I can get them to do it on the ground in the exact same house. It's like, if you tell a dog to sit in front of you, and they very clearly understand sit, down, and coming into a heel, right? You can teach all three of those things right here in this bubble. The moment that dog is across the room and you go sit, the very first couple of times, usually, even though what you want is for that dog to sit way over there, what they're going to do is they're going to come to you and sit right here, because right here is where I've always gotten paid. You have to generalize that behavior, which usually takes having that behavior happen in 8 or more places.
It's a piece of plastic. Get out of my kitchen. Out. Go.
What are the braids that I own? I don't own braids. Go place. Place. Ah, ah. There.
Good
That,
till he jumped.
yeah. Long coat or regular? I prefer standard coat, not plush or long coats. But it is what it is. What's up, Allison? How are you, ma'am? I'm 20 comments behind y'all. Give me just a second. She talked to me about that one. What's the best crate to get? So best bang for your buck. If you are limited on funds, it's probably going to be a Ruffland. These ones right here. Ruffland. If you don't mind spending the money, a gunner or an impact. Gunners are designed, as part of their design, to be insulated. So, for an example, duck dogs, they're great for that. They're also crash rated. If it was specifically for driving and I had all the money in the world, it would be nothing but gunners. For in the house or a high anxiety dog, Rufflands are great. I really, really like the gunners as well for that. But the gunners are big and have thick sidewalls. Typically, the inside of your house is insulated, so you normally care less about the insulation portion. But impacts are great for that too, or Rock Creek crates, or whatever other knockoff brand that you find of them. I am located basically dead center between Nashville and Memphis, Tennessee. What's up, Confident Canine Dog Training? Guess what day it is? I don't know what day is it, Allison. How long do I wait until I start giving the dog voice commands? Typically, when they start completing the behavior before I'm finished luring it. So, like with Dobby. Free. Dobby. Fuss. Yes. All right. If I bring him forward. Yes. All right. He knows where he's going. If I bring him into a heel and I just start the guide. Yes. Once they very clearly have it, and I like the way that it looks when they complete it with the lure, then I'll start naming it. Yes. Free.
He says my dog
Good job.
has really bad separation anxiety. What can I do about that? And then goes on to apologize for the questions, but no apology necessary.
Dog has really bad separation anxiety. Crate train the dog really, really well, and a solid crate. Rufflands are the way. For Dobby, place. Stop antagonizing mom. Rufflands are the minimum for separation anxiety as far as I'm concerned. And at that point, I would be looking at either a gunnel with a no-chew kit or an impact crate. Like, that's it. If you have a dog that has separation anxiety, that is where I would be looking at. Get the dog comfortable in that crate. So, for example, Fiona in this crate does have separation anxiety. She has had to learn how to deal with it by having a good crate that has a no-chew door that doesn't allow her to get in here and chew on things. Good girl, honey. The Ruffland's a good place to start. If they somehow chew through that, then I would be spending more money. What's up, Annie? Yes. Good job, buddy. Hey, somebody commented on YouTube. What did they say? Samantha said hi. Well, hello, Samantha. I can see that at least my microphone's still working, so that's great. I was a little bit concerned. It looks like it's in the red, though. The YouTube mic might die here pretty soon. Let's go ahead and get Fiona out. Yeah, so if you've got a good Ruffland crate like that, then you're probably not going to have a problem. Just got the invite for TikTok Live. crate. Yep, you're right, Allison. You're right. Welcome to the boop zone population. You gonna poke the nozzle. What you gonna do? Boop. Yes. Good job. All right, fuckface. I did not. Nope. Nope. Place. 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 Good. Down. Yes. Good job. Now, I'm going to take this off of you because it's been a couple of days since I charged it. Good job, buddy. Good job, man. And when you do shit right, just so you know, it's not so much about the tools that the dog has on them as the training that you've put on the dog. So, right now, free. Dobby. Sit. Down. Down. Good. Front. Foos. Yes. Good man. Free. Free boy. All right, let's go. Kennel. When they clearly understand the behaviors, the tools matter a lot less. And I'm going to have to cover his ass because if not, he's going to be a barky asshole because that's Dobby. Love Dobby, but he's a barky asshole. Oh, shit. I get snackies. Ooh.
It's not as good as the cheesecake.
It's not as good as the cheesecake.
It'll work for right now.
It's not as good as the cheesecake.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
We'll eat it.
Oh, yeah, I'll eat it.
I definitely like the cheesecake a hell of a lot better. This
Yeah.
is French vanilla.
The metal impacts, they're great. They're just fucking expensive. And it's hard for some people to afford them.
Just my summer food.
There's a service dog on here named Ketchup.
I love that.
That's awesome. What are we eating? She made a whipped topping fruit medley thingamabob.
What's that?
And it's delicious. Yeah, no, Rufflins aren't super cheap either. They aren't. But they're half the price. It's actually less than half the price. They're like 40% the price of a Gunner or Impact. Of like the same size. And like the large Gunner is still interior space a little bit smaller than the large Ruffland, if I remember right. And it's 72 or 73 pounds. It's a big fucking crate. Good girl, honey. Let's break you out. Monarch will get to you in a minute. Do I use the e-collar even when I'm not training them? Well, we're always training, so no. But yes. Yeah, those are larges. This is the large size, so it's 22 and a half inches wide, 32 inches long, and I'm trying to remember, is it 26 and a half tall? Like, it's not a small crate. It looks small through this lens, but it's not a small crate. What's up, Nicole? We're doing well. Yeah, it looks small, but it's not. Yeah.
Did you answer Cammy's training about how you got into dog training?
I did not answer Cammy's question about how I got into dog training. Yeah, I don't, Elizabeth, I don't recommend the wire crates for most dogs. Sometimes they will work. Yes. But I have seen wire crates kill dogs. I've had clients where it's been a thing. How much for you to ship me some?
I told her more than it would actually cost to go buy the stuff and make it herself.
Yeah,
but I did
unfortunately.
let them know that I have a video on how to make it.
Yeah, some people don't. Some people don't have issues. But I have had so many people have issues, especially if the dog has separation anxiety, that I don't recommend them. I don't recommend them at all. They tried to get through the crate, and the wires bust because they are not robust. They are not well built. It is just wire, and they end up expiring that way. I've also had them expire by getting out because the doors flex, and then eat something they're not supposed to, and then they made it to the vet, but the vet wasn't able to save them on time.
And the amount of things that even if they can get out of those wire crates without expiring themselves,
Center.
the amount of things that vets have found inside dogs' stomachs.
Yep.
Because they were either not crated, yes, or they were in a cheaply made crate and they got out.
Yep. Cheap crates are not good. That being said, the minimum that I would get for a dog that does not have separation anxiety is one of these very kennels, but the weak part on these is the door. Now, it's not, the actual crate is not going to unalive them, but that door can be pulled and pushed and morphed so that those pins will pop out of there. Yes, good girl. Yeah. And when they are able to get out of there, yes, good girl. With me. Spin. Spin. Yes, that's better. Spin. Yes. No. Thank you. Sit. Paw. Paw. Good girl. But at least the crates won't actually unalive them themselves, so it's not bad. Is this a new dog? No. Yeah, that's one of those things. I would get a crate that can keep that dog controlled. I don't recommend the room thing because I have personally had a dog that would eat drywall, and I have seen many dogs eat doors.
Yeah, he made a new
drywall, all sorts of other stuff. Like, left in the bathroom, ate the pipes underneath the fucking sink. Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought of it.
If all of it's steel covered, that's dope. You have more money than I do to steel cover walls.
The door still existed. He just made himself a doggy door.
Yeah. Yeah, the door did still exist. He just fucking ate through it. So, yes, they were okay after the drywall thing. Could have not been. But he thankfully was. I got you, Juliana. I get it. Yeah, I've seen a Mal eat the whole bottom of a door. It was a Mal that pulled out the plumbing underneath the sink of a bathroom. I've also seen the aftermath of a Mal being left out in the backyard unattended while they went to the store for 15 minutes, and that Mal dug up almost the entire sprinkler system in the backyard. All right, Fiona. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Sit. Yes, that was good. With me. Yeah. Spin. Sit. High five. Spin. Good. Center. And we go forward. And we go backwards. We go to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. I don't know how we would crisscross with her. Well, with dachshunds, I could kind of see that too. Yeah, if the dogs are not kept up with, and they are large working dogs that need a job, it's a fucking problem. Yes. I'll let you get your itchy and scratchy show out. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Good. Uh-uh. Yep, good. You're off tonight. Spin. Go place. It actually is. It's about time for her to go into heat again, and it's probably 2 months or so for Monarch to go into heat.
Because I was going to say, she was like super, super cuddly the past couple of days, and that's usually her telltale.
Oh, we got a YouTube question. First off, Nicole, thank you for being here. The last time I was on your live, you brought trying out sitting outside of bars for people to pet Sky and socialize Sky. She absolutely loved it. Great.
Hell yeah.
Love that. What do I do when a friend brings a reactive dog around Sky with wanting to chase UTVs? Well, if you can't trust that dog, I would not let them interact. By that I mean I would either tell that person, hey, I love you, but if your dog is going to cause a problem, I don't want to bring my dog around. I love you, gorgeous.
I love you, handsome.
Yes, Fiona is a German Shepherd. What's whose registered name, Allison? Then you got lucky, Juliana. I love that for you, but you got lucky. Fiona. So Fiona vom Lobo. Yes. Yeah, that would be one of those things with the UTV and the dog being reactive. I honestly don't like head collars at all. The dogs typically hate them, and they don't give me anything a flat collar wouldn't give me, and the ability to reach out and touch that dog. So I don't like doing that. What type of collar do I use? Well, all of the dogs have a flat collar. Like, this one is a Canine Tactical Gear, 1.75 inch E-Tac collar. So it will actually house an E-collar in there. Has heavy duty hardware. Has Austria Alpine Cobra buckles that are rated to like 5,500 pounds. So the collar is going to rip before the Cobra buckle comes undone. Also, because they're actually designed for rigging. The button, if you touch it and there's pressure pulled onto the buckle, it won't disengage. It's a safety mechanism put in by Austria Alpine. If one of the wings does somehow get unengaged and there's still back pressure, it still won't come undone. Even if you're hitting that other button won't move. That stays in place. You just heard the click because it was half there. What type of e-collar? So the e-collar Technologies Mini Educator. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 mini educators currently in the house that are ours, right? Yes. Girl. That's my girl. Yeah. That's my girl. That's my girl. Yeah, I love you too, honey. I love you too, honey. Oh. Oh. Yeah. She wants to go see mom. And then I also have a Dogtra 280C system. I would like the 280X. The 280C, this is the Gen 1. Supposedly I'm supposed to be able to boost. With this being on continuous, I can't change that. With this particular one, with the Gen 1, I really dislike that. So I always have a nick and I always have a constant, but it's always on the dial. I don't have anything that I can pre-program of like, hey, I know that this dog needs an extra 15 from their working level as a correction. Or this dog may need as much as like an extra 25 for the working level. Yeah, Lauren, you shouldn't do that. You might not be able to do that. I have found that the vast majority of people that say an e-collar is bad have never properly used one, don't have a dog that is trained with them, have not used it on themselves to understand how the stim works, how the stim feels, and how the stim will likely be perceived by the dog. And they're listening to a bunch of motherfuckers that don't know shit about shit. Basically, is what it boils down to. You're buying cheap fucking junk bow bullshit off of Amazon. Those things should have a class action lawsuit. No, but a quality e-collar, properly conditioned, knowing how the dog is used, knowing how it's used, is a great fucking tool. That's great. I love that for you, Lauren. But what you said is you shouldn't do it. It will hurt your dog. No. You are wrong. You are 100% wrong. That speaks to ignorance. Ignorance means that you have not learned. You are uneducated in that. And I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. But unfortunately for you, there's a reason that there's people that are watching me and that have paid me lots and lots of money to help them fix problems that other people broke. Doing it the purely positive way, though primarily I'm using this as a gas pedal. I'm using it as negative reinforcement. Right now, the Dogtra that was just on my boy was 9 out of 127. It is so fucking low that I can't feel it. I know that he can. And he understands what's up. If you are an asshole that is a problem. No, Lauren, there's not. There are things that the e-collar does that we use the e-collar for that you literally can't do anywhere else because you can't apply that same pressure from a long ass fucking distance away. You have limitations of the thing. Actually, Kaylee, our dogs do enjoy it. Fiona was taught on an e-collar. Does she use it now? No, not very often. But that was how her, as a 20-week-old puppy on low stimulation, was able to be taught long distance down at the park under distractions. Yes, because the stim is not being jacked up, and the stim is connected to different things. People have no idea what they're talking about. Just like this Alexander kid. He always says some stupid shit.
I thought we blocked them.
No, I just keep muting him. So he can come back and say some stupid shit, and he can run the algorithm like we're doing right now. Right? We are currently gaining viewers because there's some controversy that some stupid people are talking about on the internet, and we're making money. And I love that for us.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I understand completely, and I am good with whoever wants to train. If it works for them, it works for them.
Yep.
Because I don't enjoy people coming at us saying that what we're doing is wrong when we clearly have the trained dogs to show for it. But anyways, what happens when you don't have that e-collar? And you're fully confident, and I'm over here doing quotations for people who can't see me. You're fully confident that your dog won't do anything fucked up.
Yep.
The dog sees a squirrel.
Yep.
The dog sees whatever the case is.
Yep.
And decides it wants to bolt.
Yep.
And your confidence in your dog being off leash has now been completely fucked up by squirrel. Right, literally. How are you going to catch your dog? How are you going to call back that dog when their auditory is now shut off because their full focus is on that?
They don't, honey, most of these people don't even know what auditory exclusion is. Like, they don't know what they don't know.
Well, that's my question, is how do you get that dog back? Do you run yourself ragged after the, I'm still going after my dog.
That is what they would have to do, yes. That is what they would have to do.
I'm just trying to make it make sense.
I understand. But that's why, like Fiona, we can send after stuff.
Lauren's dogs would never.
And immediately call her back. That's why that our dogs can walk off leash in downtown Nashville on the busy fucking street with all the people around.
Which, by the
and
way,
we're
I didn't
good.
have to touch that e-collar at all that day.
Right. So I'm saying the stim is rewarding them. No. I'm saying that the stim is conditioned to have emotional response, that they need to do something and then good things will happen. Do they eat in their crates? Often, yes. Some of them do.
Lauren apparently thinks that I'm talking solely about her dogs. It wasn't.
Well, that's fine.
No.
Taking any working line off leash with no e-collar can be 100%. It can be. It can be. And that is one thing you have to know your dog. So, like, Fiona, I know, because we've done it many, 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 many times, can heel with me beside chickens and not chase them. If I break her and she wants to go towards that animal, I can call her back because we've done it many, many times. As a puppy, it was with an e-collar. Now I don't have to use one. It's called repetitions.
Hannah's wanting to know, their dog is great. Their only thing is they try to chase after someone when they see him on rollerblades. How do they stop it? I don't know if there was one that I missed. Oh, I'm training my dog on e-collar. That was the first message.
Yep. Okay. So Does great. So that's still a thing. All of the behaviors that we teach with the e-collar is just laid in. We would still correct the dog on a leash. Hams. Still have the dog on a leash until they have that thing. Now, there may be a point where, hey, just like with a leash, the e-collar becomes a wireless leash, and instead of popping back on that, we would stem higher. But generally speaking, at a low level, it's not that thing. It's not aversive. It's not a problem. Yeah, we're not using punishment. It is negative reinforcement.
So Lauren said that she did working dogs, which in our definition, and I think Chi-Town is thinking the same way when we
Chi-Town works the same types of dogs we do.
When we're talking working dogs, we're not talking prancing around showing how pretty they can walk. We're talking sport dogs.
Yeah.
Very high drive
right.
working dogs is what we hear when we say working dogs.
Yeah, totally different thing apparently than what Lauren is doing.
Now, if you're saying
and that's fine.
There are different dogs. There are working dogs as in solely service dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They are still working, but they're not going to have near the drive nor the want to go after a squirrel as she was speaking of.
Right.
And she said that one of hers was 9 and one of hers was 4 months. So
I love that for her.
So, I mean, at the age of 9, our 8-year-old Dutch Shepherd, she ain't going to chase after a squirrel either.
No, Raven's not going to.
That takes up way too much of her energy.
Right. No.
Pull that pillow out, though, see what happens.
Yeah, she likes biting people, though. But that's what we do. Huh, honey? Yeah. With me. Hey. Center. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Spit.
Service dogs and police dogs apparently is what Lauren trains. But if she
she doesn't.
No idea what a high drive dog is or
yeah,
whatever.
No, she doesn't.
Then she doesn't.
No, she doesn't.
Ma'am, it is not snuggle time. Go get Dad.
No, we've proved many times. I love that for you, Nicole.
Not speaking on our behalf, telling us that we should. Okay, I'm gonna go do the remainder of my job for the night, so we can get to bed at a decent time whenever you get done.
Well, we're at that time, so if you would like to take away their microphones, you're welcome to. Fiona, place. Welcome to the boop zone population. You're gonna poke the nozzle. What you gonna do? Boop. Yes. Good girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. Yeah, that shit's fucking hilarious.
I don't care who it comes from. When wife or wifey comes out of somebody's mouth, it makes me do my little shit.
Fiona, kennel.
Me moving that
Good girl.
table has fucked her up.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of fucked me up a little too.
I'm just glad nobody in this house is blind. As much as I rearrange shit.
Yeah, I've worked with a shit ton of cops, and not a single one of their departments will allow them to do anything positive only. They won't. And the right dogs, you can't.
Elizabeth says, so apparently fox, red labs, and golden retrievers are police dogs.
Yeah. Doing scent work you can. Absolutely doing scent work you can. If that's all you're doing, yes. How do I like the Rufflins? I fucking love the Rufflin kennels. They are the best bang for your buck crate, as far as I'm concerned. If somebody can prove me wrong, send it to me, and I would love to find out. But as far as I'm concerned, at this point in time, Justin Rigney is apparently not, because Justin does not do any of that goofy bullshit. And Justin calls out that bullshit all the time. I know Justin Rigney. I like Justin. Yeah, Block Nation, yes. My favorite is all of the ones where they photoshopped him over the face of the black guy with the big thighs that's butt naked. That one's fucking hilarious. My first seminar for decoy development was actually Justin Rigney, Michael Nesbitt, and Carlos Ramirez in Loudon, Tennessee. Yeah. And like, I'm 100%, like, I know that we can use positive reinforcement to do scent work. When we start talking about working dogs, doing apprehension shit, doing positive only doesn't fucking work. There is no reliability in that. Doing scent work, you're very, very, very much relying on the drive of the dog and building all of that. You can do that positive only. You cannot do bite work without any sort of punishment or negative reinforcement or negative punishment. But the reason that I allow people to stay in here and have those conversations was exactly what we just had happen. Right now, Jasmine, I just put all the dogs up. I just put Fiona up because we're getting ready to kick off. I've been on for more than an hour. I'm ready to go to bed and spend some time with my woman. Yeah, and you're right, Elizabeth. It does take months for that. And I will not say that I am like the most skilled trainer on the planet. I am not. I still make mistakes. I am not perfect. I am not what I would consider to be a world-class trainer. However, I am smart enough to go and talk to the trainers that are the top 20 or so in whatever discipline that I'm trying for to get better at that thing, because they've done that thing. They understand what the fuck's up. So while I am a decent trainer, Anne Marie is fucking awesome, first off, but she is the breeder for the Le Monarch. Spicy potato time. Monarch, place. Down. Good. So, Anne was the one that bred Monarch. That's where Monarch came from. She's also where Dobby came from. Also where Shrek and Ivy came from. Yeah, Elizabeth, so the closest really good trainer to me right now that I very, very much respect, and sometimes she'll pop up on the lives, is Courtney Robbins for PSA. She has a dog in the PSA 3s. She's about to have 2. Her daughter has a dog at 9 years old that has gotten her PSA 1 and is now on her first leg of the PSA 2. And then you got really, really good guys like Seth Sutton out of White Hill? Something like that. It's out past Knoxville. There are some really, really good people. The daughter and the dog. Like, the daughter trains that dog every single fucking day with Courtney's guidance. But Courtney is not the one doing the training for that dog. Like, the dog is not working with Courtney. The dog is working with the daughter. They are working together, and they have achieved their PDC and both legs of their PSA 1. With the PSA 1, the first leg, the dog got with distinction with a 90, was it a 96 in obedience? And near perfect scores in protection. Yeah, definitely is a well-bred dog. Sai is fucking awesome. And Sai loves to work with that kid. Like, they work very, very well together. But genetics is a fucking gigantic thing. Like, a well-bred dog makes a giant difference in everything that you do, whether it's daily life or anything else. The daughter is 9. The dog is 2.5 years old. I know, because we went to the PSA trial, and because we're kind of in this thing, I know a lot of people that are high up in PSA now. Yes. Good girl. Monarch, with me. Yes. Good girl. Center. Yes. And we go forward, and we go backwards. That's a good girl, huh? Ah. Center. Good. Get mom. How long does it take to get through the levels of PSA? So to get their PDC, the dog has to be a minimum of 14 months old. To start competing for their PSA 1, if I remember right, they have to be 18 months, and PSA 2 has to be 2 years. But most dogs don't get their PSA 1 until they're at least 2.5, 3 years old, if they're going to get it at all. But so the PSA 1, you have to compete twice and pass the PSA 1 routine twice to have that PSA 1. Same thing for the PSA 2 and the PSA 3. Yeah, it is hard. In particular, it is super hard on the nerves of the dogs. Like, if the dog is not environmentally sound, if they're sketched out by things like, this is going to set all the dogs in the house off because I have, all my dogs love it, but clatter stick, if they have issues with a rock jug, going for your PDC in a couple weeks, love that. Congratulations. Monarch, place. Good girl. Quiet. I know. Stick means bite. I get it. It's time. I get it. If the dog has issues with like can curtains or trash cans or tarps or getting balls or all sorts of different goofy stuff, it makes it very, very hard. What are my thoughts on mastiff breeds in PSA? Well, they don't tend to be very successful. A lot of them are not as clear-headed as you would like them to be to do what we want them to do. There are some dogs that are doing that. Clay has a dog that is in the PSA 3s. That dog is fucking cool. It's a very nice female. But she is the exception, not the rule. Awesome. Well, it says that we've got that you got IGP1, Green Arrow God of War IGP1. So God of War, that's gonna be a Malinois, right? Malinois kennels. I'm trying to remember. I mean, Malinois do really, really well in IGP. Look at Ivan Balabanov. We have noticed in PSA that because the 3s are getting to be a lot more the dog having to think instead of just blast through shit. Yeah, they do good in ring too. Awesome. Love that. Because they think, which is one of the biggest things that I like about the generalization of a German Shepherd. They tend to think more than mouths. And if they're bred well, like Monarch, they have all of the drive and energy to put behind it, then they're a blast. They do really, really well. And because they're being required to think more in the PSA 3s, the Shepherds are now starting to do better. Got a ring 2, ring 3. Awesome. And the UPR 3 was at championship. That's fucking awesome. I love it. Congratulations. Good job, Spicy Potato. Good job, Spicy Potato. Spicy Potato. Spicy Potato. Spicy Potato shedding. Did you guys just hear her teeth clack at my face? She wants to bite so bad. I know you want to do bite work. I know. I know. Break. All right, y'all. We're going to head out. We hope you have a great night. We will see you on the next one. We should be live tomorrow night around 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, just like normal. And I'm going to get back on YouTube as well. Right now, there's a shelter near you that has failed PSA dogs that the owner gave up on you. That's bullshit. So, Nicole, there are specific rules about, like, how you should treat the dogs and stuff like that. There's not one that's like, hey, you can wash the dog and put it in a shelter. I don't like that at all, and most of the people in PSA wouldn't like that either. Monarch. Monarch. Kennel. There we go. There she is. Good job, honey. All right, y'all. Love, peace, and bakeries. We'll see you on the next one, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye-bye. Remember to get out and train your dog. And I'll be shutting off YouTube here in just a second. But, yeah, the Mastiffs don't tend to do as well. Any of the Molosser breeds don't tend to do as well. They just don't think as much as you would like them to, typically speaking. It's why you don't see a bunch of them being protection dogs in general. All right. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you on the next one.